Ladies and gentlemen, Worldwide Sports presents America's Super Sport Big Time Wrestling. Now let's go to ringside.
Hello everyone, I'm Chuck Allen of Worldwide Sports, presenting to you today a documentary on two of the world's greatest wrestlers. The former United States heavyweight wrestling champion, the Sheik, and the now United States heavyweight wrestling champion, Bobo Brazil. Though many of us do not like the various tactics that the Sheik from Syria uses in the ring, he has got to be one of the world's greatest wrestlers, one of the world's greatest fan attractions. He fills the arenas from Madison Square Garden to the Honolulu International Center in Honolulu, Hawaii, to Tokyo, Japan, to Los Angeles, to New Orleans, many other cities throughout this great world. We would like to show to you today on this documentary some of the outstanding matches that the Sheik has had throughout his illustrious career, and also some of the matches that the champion Bobo Brazil has had throughout his illustrious career. Not too many months ago, Bobo Brazil, after chasing the Sheik around the world, fight after fight, match after match, bout after bout, to try to gain that coveted United States wrestling title, he met the Sheik. He defeated the Sheik finally after many, many matches of trying. The Sheik had an open contract with Bobo Brazil that if Bobo Brazil did indeed defeat him, he would be able to meet Bobo Brazil anytime, any place, under any terms. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Bobo Brazil will once again meet the Sheik. The Sheik did not care whether this was a championship bout or whether it was just a match to kind of grudge the fact that Bobo did beat him. Bobo had stated to me and to many other promoters throughout the country, why just have a match with the Sheik? It would mean nothing. I will put my belt on the line. And fans, this match is coming about very soon, and it will have to go down to history as one of the greatest wrestling matches that the fans have ever been able to witness. It was the night Bobo Brazil defeated the Sheik. It sounded like a tornado had hit the great Cobo Arena in Detroit. The fans were on their feet. The building thundered with excitement. A great night indeed. Bobo Brazil has been a tremendous champion, a real athlete, a real star. We would like to show you now some matches that the Sheik has had throughout his illustrious career, and also Bobo Brazil's. First, we would like to take you through the magic of videotape to the Honolulu International Center in Honolulu, Hawaii, when the Sheik meets handsome Johnny Barrend.
He jumps up and he throws fire! He threw fire!
The Sheik's ability to throw fire upon his opponent is really unbelievable. Chemists, scientists, physicists still do not know how the man from Syria is able to throw fire from an open hand. We'll be back after these messages. In preparing for this documentary, we have dug into the archives of Worldwide Sports and come up with this videotape that was made several years ago with the former champion, the Sheik, and his valet at ringside, the Princess. It is not known whether the Princess is indeed one of his many wives or just one of the servants of the household. This tape was made many years ago, and a few fans at home experienced some a difficulty or some breakup on your television sets, please do not adjust it. It's in the tape. We would like to bring you now a match between the Sheik and Lone Eagle with his ring attendant, the Princess.
Well,
incidentally, I think this particular girl is a good old American girl, Bill.
What makes you think that?
Well, I just have that feeling.
Well, she's completely veiled, isn't she?
Yes,
I didn't see her face, Jack. Referee Bill Wagner looking both men over. Of course, getting the Sheik to stand still for any kind of an examination is plenty tough.
Can you imagine the arrogance of the Sheik? He makes this woman kiss his boot.
Chief White Eagle from Oklahoma is undoubtedly one of the most colorful of the Indian wrestlers. He's a very talented wrestler and a beautifully built man. Well, the Sheik from Arabia going against...
Look at that.
Uh-oh.
He's slapping her, Bill.
Well...
Did you ever see anything like that in your life, Bill? Look at, he's making her kiss his boot. I have never seen such arrogance in all my life.
Well, he doesn't treat, evidently, his women any better than he treats his opponents in the ring, Jack.
That beats anything I've ever seen in my life.
He's taking right in after Chief White Eagle and throws him out of the ring. Smashes his head into the iron ring post, and there it goes again. And into the turnbuckle this time. The Chief is dazed. The referee is counting over the Chief for being outside the ring. Now, the Sheik is biting him. He's biting him.
He's got him. I can't quite see what he's doing over there. I know he had him by the hair.
He's got him back in the ring now. There's a forearm smash to the back of the neck repeatedly. And here he goes out of the ring on the other side.
Now he's raking him across the eyes, Bill. I'm afraid White Eagle is in a lot of trouble. Bill, here comes Chief White Eagle. He's doing that dance.
The Sheik bails out of the ring.
Chief White Eagle got just about as much of that punching and biting and kicking as he could take, and he really cut loose. And the Sheik run right out of the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, while the Sheik is biting him again. He's biting him, and Chief White Eagle let him have a left hook to the jaw. The Sheik shows he can use his fist a little bit, too. He grabs him by the hair and picks him up and slams him to the deck.
Picks him up again. There's another slam, Bill.
Tremendous body slam.
How much of this can he take?
I think that's the hardest I ever saw a wrestler slam to the deck, Jack.
Look at that, another one.
The referee is counting over the Sheik.
My God, Bill, he can't take much more of that.
Chief White Eagle, straddle the Sheik now. They're pummeling each other. An elbow smash, and there's the camel clutch. He's got the camel clutch on him. Look at that expression on the Sheik's face, Jack.
That's it, Bill.
He refuses to release it.
Referee Bill Wagner's trying to pull him off by the hair.
The referee trying with this desperate effort to pull the Sheik off. The Sheik jumps out of the ring. The crowd angered him. Well,
the Sheik has won many, many matches with his now famous hold, the camel clutch. We'll be back after these messages. Bobo Brazil has, as we said earlier in this documentary, been a tremendous champion. He has had fan appeal at every airport that he has ever flown into. Great crowds are waiting for Bobo Brazil. Just a chance to slap him on the back and say a job well done. Not too many months ago, Bobo Brazil appeared at Los Angeles, California. They had one of the biggest houses in the history of professional wrestling. Bobo Brazil has been a true champion. He hails from Benton Harbor, Michigan. He has built his body up through physical conditioning to a weight of 297 pounds. Bobo Brazil stands 6 feet 5 inches tall. A true stature of a champion indeed. We would like to have you now see Bobo Brazil in action. Bobo Brazil, of course, has a different style than the Sheik. Bobo Brazil does not mean to injure or maim his opponents, as the Sheik most often does. Bobo Brazil likes to congratulate his opponents at the end of the matches, whether he wins or loses, and give them a pat on the back and say, a job well done. Here now is Bobo Brazil as he meets Owen Henley.
To a display here of wrestling by Bobo Brazil and a new fellow by the name of Henley. I don't know much about Henley. We certainly will soon find out. Bobo Brazil we know a lot about. In fact, his name is known throughout wrestling circles over the entire globe. Bobo Brazil, one of the largest natural athletes in the world, always a force. Henley is calling for L. Thomas, the referee, to check Brazil and make sure he's holding onto all the fingers at the one time. Judging by the actions of Henley, he needs watching too. Bobo threatens Henley, but at the insistence of Bulldog Thomas, he stood back clean. But this time, we don't find the same consideration being shown to Brazil. Thomas is insisting that Henley keep the hand open. One of the requisites of professional wrestling, but how many times the rule is broken. Bobo Brazil, always a great attraction wherever he appears. Puts a twist to the head of Henley, and Henley is unable to do very much with this hold. Bobo Brazil eyeing Henley very cautiously. Henley is a veteran of wrestling. That is as much as I know, and it is quite obvious by his behavior that he has quite a few tricks. There's the count of 1, 2, 3, and Bobo Brazil, after that headbutt, got in a 3 count.
And Bobo Brazil, with his now famous hold or submission blow, the cocoa butt. More after these messages. You have seen the champion Bobo Brazil many times in front of these microphones and these cameras, and he's rather soft-spoken, rather quiet, rather slow in speech. Bobo Brazil is really not easily provoked, but when he is provoked, things begin to happen. Here you see, in front of our filming cameras of big-time wrestling, Bobo Brazil and Ernie Ladd with Lord Athol Leighton commentating.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I want to introduce the United States heavyweight wrestling champion, Bobo Brazil. Bobo.
Hello, Leighton.
Welcome. And I still, the noise that rings in my ears, the noise of the wonderful ovation you received when you took the title from the Sheik. And the Sheik's working overtime now. He's gone to, my scouts tell me, he's gone into special training. He's most determined that he's going to chase you to the ends of the earth. And I would hold him off if I were you.
Well, you know, I should hold him off.
Certainly.
I should. Because, you know, he had me waiting for a long, long time. But, you know, he have a style that I don't have. I don't like for no man to chase me and say I'm running for him. I want to give every man a break. But guys like the Sheik.
Fans, once again, there you've seen the dean of all wrestling commentators, Lord Athol Leighton. Who is he interviewing but the man that has regained the United States Heavyweight Championship of Professional Big-Time Wrestling, none other than Bobo Brazil. And that's right, fans, I know how excited all of Detroit is. In fact, how excited all of the world is. Bobo Brazil, once again, the United States Heavyweight Champion. Some 2.5 months ago, I'm sure all of you fans remember that the eighth wonder of the world, the man that features El Garfio, those studs that were implanted in his fingertips, the man that files his teeth, the man that seeks inspiration from a shrunken head called Chimu, none other than Pampero Firpo. Well, he won that belt from Bobo Brazil, and oftentimes he said that that belt was his. It didn't belong to the fans. Now, once again, that belt does belong to you, the fans, and none other than Bobo Brazil. But if you've paid attention to this edition of Professional Big Time Wrestling, I'm sure you've noticed a rarity on the airwaves right now. You've seen nothing but matches between Bobo Brazil and the former U.S. heavyweight champion, the wild man from Syria, the Sheik. There's a reason for that. We wanted you to see these two professional big-time wrestlers. Bobo Brazil, the champion, the Sheik, the former U.S. heavyweight champion. Bobo Brazil won that belt from the Sheik some 2.5 years ago. Once again, he has it. And the eighth wonder of the world, Pampero Firpo, was out of the way. The Sheik saw an opportunity. The Sheik has gained that opportunity. Immediately, everyone that speaks for the Sheik went to promoter Francis Fleecer in Detroit, the mecca of professional big-time wrestling, and demanded a match to regain that belt from Bobo Brazil. And all of you fans here in Detroit, that is the main event taking place at Detroit's Cobo Hall tomorrow night. For the United States Heavyweight Championship, once again the challenger, the former U.S. heavyweight champion, the Sheik, tries to win that belt from Bobo Brazil, the present United States heavyweight champion. But fans, listen to this. Francis Fleecer, the promoter here in Detroit, has decided that just any referee would not do. He was there, he saw the night that Bobo Brazil won that belt from the Sheik, and he decided that just any referee wouldn't do. So, who do we have? The man that fought any bum of any month. The man, the Bum of the Month Club, one of the world's greatest professional boxing champions, none other than Joe Louis. That's right, fans, Joe Louis, your special referee for this championship match between Bobo Brazil and the wild man from Syria, the Sheik. That main event tomorrow night, Detroit's Cobo Hall. The number 961-9557. I'm sure you saw it on your screen, fans. That's the number to call for your advance ticket reservations, 961-9557. Look at this tremendous supporting card as well for you fans in Detroit. The eighth wonder of the world, Pompero Firpo, goes against the man from Morgan's Corner, Arkansas, Haystack Calhoun. For the World Tag Team Championship, the present tag team champions of the world, Carl Von Schatz, Kurt Von Hess, they go against none other than Johnny Valentine and Big Tex McKenzie. These two men teaming up, amazing. They've had so many blood battles, but they say together they can win those belts. Also in tag team action, Killer Brooks. His manager, Ed Creechman, dons his tights. They go against Tony Marino, Chief J. Strongbow. The midgets, not 1, 2, 3, or 4, but a 6-man midget tag match. Also on this tremendous card, you'll be seeing names like George Steele, the Fabulous Kangaroos, Polish Strongman, the Mighty Igor, Ben Justice, Psycho, Dandy Dan Miller, Ohio's favorite son, the Magnificent Zulu, Hans Schmidt, the Stomper, Dr. Jerry Graham, Sweet Daddy Siki, Lord Athol Layton, Handsome Ortega. And don't forget, fans, the girls as well. All of you that enjoy the gals, they'll be on this tremendous card. Over 40 top international professional wrestling greats on this tremendous card. Advance tickets are available at Grinnell's and Hudson's or by simply calling 961-9557. Fans, professional big-time wrestling at its finest, Detroit's Cobo Hall tomorrow night.
To show you a match between the former champion, the Sheik, as the Sheik meets Guru.
Thank you very much, Lord Layton. Now we come to our next exciting match, ladies and gentlemen. We introduce first here, from Greenwich Village, New York, weighing in at 229 pounds, the Guru. His opponent today here on Big Time Wrestling, fans, from Syria, weighing in at 242 pounds, the United States heavyweight champion, the Sheik. He's accompanied by his manager, the Weasel.
Well, I know that's very frustrating for Bob Finnegan, because to get any attention when the Sheik enters the ring is difficult indeed. However, he is there. The Sheik, and the belt is being held up by the Weasel in my direction. The belt symbolic of United States supremacy in heavyweight wrestling. And so the Sheik, who has the task of subduing the Guru, and once again, I must stress the fact that it is difficult to get opponents for the Sheik. And we must give full marks to the Guru to accept this challenge on television. Of course, the Weasel, who is attired once again in great splendor, is full of complaints to the official. The Sheik prancing around. What? This, I could not express my inner feelings on this microphone. This man's behavior, his complete disregard for the safety of others in the ring, it leaves one feeling rather disgusting. The Sheik is a champion that we would like to see dethroned. He is a champion I personally want to dethrone. And the chant goes up around the ring, and the Sheik, of course, is drawing the attention of the fans to the Weasel. He is mentioning to the Weasel that he wants respect. But to get respect, one must give it. Again, the fans show their contempt for the Sheik. I think you will agree with me that the fellow's reign must be brought to an end as champion, if only to elevate professional wrestling again in the eyes of fans.
Just forget it.
The Weasel just adds to the situation, an ugly situation. Again, we find that the Sheik is being treated poorly by the fans as he seeks assistance, of course, for this bout. Well, we'll soon get the bout underway as soon as the Weasel folds the garments. He's a little slow in doing this. He claims he exercises his prerogative as manager of the Sheik. The referee is now becoming impatient. This man has been defending this crown from Boston to Hawaii. And everywhere he goes, the action is the same, the resentment is the same. He has appeared before enormous crowds in Hawaii, San Francisco, Los Angeles, particularly Boston. Not to mention the havoc that he creates in Detroit, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Columbus. And what a party would go on everywhere when he is dethroned. Our cameramen delight in an opportunity to display their talent by photographing this strange man. And there we see the Sheik being mauled by the Guru, who at this moment is doing all right. And perhaps the Guru has the answer to it here, and that is to treat the Sheik the same way that the fans have treated him, and that is with complete disdain. But now we find the Sheik getting this fellow set over the bottom rope and going on with that despicable act of biting and clawing and tearing away at the mouth of the opponent. The Weasel standing by with a look of delight on his face, a real sadist. The Guru is a game one, stays on top of the Sheik. But it's not enough. You will note that the Sheik has quite a repertoire of tricks. And this, of course, is a little too much for most of his opponents. Again, we find him drawing the mouth of the Guru and the nostril at the same time. A sickening sight. And the Weasel distracts the referee. He distracts the referee's attention so that the Sheik can continue with this behavior. He's an animal, and it's the only way to describe him. An animal that must be stopped. And the Guru is a gallant opponent. And there he would like very much, as we all would, to go and deliver a good jolt to the head of the Weasel. Oh, and the Guru is hurt. This boy's hurt. Out on the outside here, he landed heavy on the concrete, and the Sheik comes across and hammers away. Take your time now. Go on, get out of the studio. Take your time. Wait till he stands by. We'll take your time. The Guru wandering around, but be wise. He's a little dazed by the whole thing as the Sheik drags him back in now and gets him set. And the Sheik sitting back against him as the referee calls for the bell. And it is a very welcome bell for the Guru. Get out of the ring. We don't want him in there. Make him break the hole, referee. Break the hole. It's impossible to stand back and watch this go on without interfering. There's some things you just can't stand and watch. Get out of here, because I'm in no mood for you either. Go on, get out. Get out of here. Go on.
You'll pay for this, Leighton. You stuck your nose in again. You stuck your nose in again. You'll pay for it.
I'll stick it in every time. Now go on, go on. Now get out.
Bravo, Lord Athol Leighton. And of course, the Sheik, having his hand raised once again in victory with his submission hold, the camel clutch. Today, Worldwide Sports, bringing to you a documentary on two of the world's greatest professional wrestlers. More after this word. At the beginning of our documentary today, we showed you by videotape the Sheik and his fire. This is one particular weapon that the Sheik uses very seldom. Those of you who have not seen the Sheik use the fire may not believe it. I did not believe it until I witnessed it. As you know, not too long ago, the Sheik used his fire on our beloved commentator, Lord Athol Leighton. Lord Athol Leighton took about 4 to 5 months to recuperate from that injury. I saw the fire being thrown that night. We have a segment of tape of the Sheik demonstrating his fire before the audience at Madison Square Garden just prior to wrestling for the United States Championship belt to a sold-out crowd at Madison Square Garden. Now I would like to show you this demonstration of the Sheik using that fire before that crowd.
Foolishly, I will be in the Sheik's corner in Madison Square Garden on the 21st.
For the second time this past hour, I saw the fire on my monitor, as you folks at home saw on your television screens. I still do not believe it, but pictures do not lie. We have time, I think, for one more view of the former United States wrestling champion. And after this particular segment, I would like to come back and close out our program today and show you some actual photographs from Cobo Arena the night Bobo, Brazil defeated the Sheik for that coveted United States Championship belt. And now, I would like to show you about between the Sheik and Tom Jones.
In the blue corner, from Indianapolis, weighing 230 pounds, Tom Jones. His opponent from Syria, weighing 240 pounds, the Sheik. The Sheik is accompanied in the ring by his interpreter, Abdullah Farouk.
Well, bedlam broke loose when the Sheik made his appearance. Very fine young man going in against the Sheik in this bout, Tom Jones, one of my favorites amongst the younger crop. Good boy, and I don't know what he has done to deserve an opponent like the Sheik. Nevertheless, he's most enthused over it. Have you ever witnessed anybody as obnoxious as this weasel? Clad today in mustard-colored trousers, green sports coat, red fez, that I object to. And both of them trying, I don't know what the complaint is, but there is an objection on the part of the Sheik and the weasel. They're checking the boots. Hello, and the bell has not sounded as the Sheik went up his man, and now it is Jones. Jones jumping the gun, and the Sheik leaves the ring as Jones went on the warpath. Now the weasel complains bitterly. Oh, I forgot to mention the weasel is wearing green shoes. A real dapper Dan. I think we have in the weasel and the Sheik a couple of characters who one would not want to take home as a house guest. The weasel is so obnoxious that he's evidently spent a lifetime training at it. Both men forcing Tom Jones back. Now the Sheik is on that prayer rug to seek assistance. He eyes the fans, keeps an eye on the fans, and he is waiting until they give him what he considers his respect. A veteran of the ring, the Sheik, has wrestled around this world for many years, and it has been the same story wherever he goes. It's one reprimand after another with this fellow. Now we are waiting the bell, and finally we get the show on the road. And the Sheik goes into that Arabian twist of his as he moves around. And Tom Jones pummels away at him. And Jones, oh, he thrills the fans by attacking the Sheik in the corner. And the Sheik grabbed, and the cameraman give a tremendous study of this fellow as he is draped over that second rope. The weasel is concerned on the outside. And now it is a Sheik jumping into the fray and applying, oh, a dangerous hold, this one. The hammerlock, and he is pulling back on it. This is a vicious hold. And I have not seen it for some time, but I don't like it. The hammerlock and all the weight thrown against the arm as the Sheik pulls against that arm of Tom Jones. The referee is over, questioning Jones. There's not much Jones can do about it. And, oh, and another maneuver that sends the body weight, the full body weight, against the arm. Now, I don't like the hold. It is a bad one. The hammerlock itself is vicious enough, but to perform the maneuver that the Sheik has used, the bell sounds. The bell sounds. The weasel is in there. The Sheik is still holding on to this hold. And we have an ugly situation now where the referee is finding it difficult, and there goes the Sheik again, applying the pressure to the hammerlock. As here now, Whipper-Billy Watson comes into the studio, and he is displaying the same concern as I am. And Watson, unfortunately, is not dressed for action, and the Sheik pounds him. Whipper-Billy Watson is now grabbed by the Sheik, and the Sheik pulls him out on the concrete. And Watson getting his head stumped in front of me here as the fans pile around, menacing. And the Sheik grabbing Watson, kicking away with those pointed boots. Well, they've gone out into the dressing room, and there's a tremendous ding outside as many of the fans have followed, and the fight pursues. The fight continues outside, and we have a very unfortunate situation here. The Weasel is standing up there defying everybody as this boy is hurt. The lad is definitely hurt. And I don't like the shape of the muscle at where that arm meets the shoulder. It is quite limp, that arm. And I would venture to say at this stage,
Well, you saw it. You saw his arm broken.
Go on, get out of here. There's no interview. Get out.
This is just what's going to happen tomorrow night to this organ grinder and his pet monkey, Igor. This is just a little example. I warned you and I warned Big Nose Watson, keep out of the business. He stuck his nose in, you saw what happened to him. But this breaking of the arm of Tom Jones.
Fans, that was a bout from another part of our country prior to meeting the mighty Igor. Lord Athol Leighton was right. Tom Jones did sustain a broken arm from that vicious attack by the vicious Syrian, the Sheik. More with Bobo Brazil after this message. Well, fans, there you have it. I hope you have enjoyed seeing some of these matches that the former champion, the Sheik, has had in the past few years, and also some of the matches that Bobo Brazil has had during the past few years, and a couple of comments and a couple of scenes from Bobo Brazil since winning that coveted title back in May of 1971 at the Cobo Arena in Detroit. You can see behind me on this screen a picture of Bobo Brazil with microphone in hand. That picture was taken the night Bobo Brazil made the challenge to meet the Sheik once again for that coveted belt. And he told the fans that very night in Cobo Arena, if I do not beat the Sheik the very next time I meet him for that title, I will hang up my tights and wrestle no more. Well, you can imagine the flood of mail that Bobo Brazil had from the Cobo Arena fans that were there that night. The very next day, in filming our big-time wrestling, Bobo made the same statement over this television station and all of our network stations. If I cannot beat the Sheik, the next time I meet him, I will hang up my tights. Bobo Brazil had so much mail that it took him several months to read it, even after he had defeated the Sheik for the belt. The fans still love Bobo Brazil. He does not claim that belt as his own. He says it's ours, it's mine, and it's the fans who have supported him over these many years of his professional wrestling career. And now, after many months of courts, of lawyers, Bobo Brazil is once again going to meet the Sheik. This will be the first time that Bobo Brazil and the Sheik have met in single matches for the coveted title. As we said in the outset of this program, that Bobo Brazil had agreed to meet the Sheik, but only if the belt were at stake. The Sheik didn't really care whether the belt was at stake or not. Bobo's comment was, what use would the bout be without the belt being on the line? And I can tell you that Bobo Brazil is in training. No one steps into the ring against the Syrian without several months of hard training in gymnasiums throughout the country. Bobo Brazil steps on airplanes almost every day. He gets in arenas throughout this great country of ours almost every night. And in between all of his time of traveling and fighting, he's in training. He knows that when he steps into the ring with the Sheik once again, many things could happen. The Sheik claimed there was a fast count the last time he lost the belt, so he's going to be on the lookout, supposedly, for any referee that might be in that match. Bobo Brazil, on the other hand, knows all of the techniques, quote unquote, that the Sheik uses in the ring. He's also going to be aware of the Sheik's great submission hold, the camel clutch. He's going to be aware of Abdullah Farouk, who is ever present at ringside. He's going to be aware of many things. Thus, the reason for his training for this fight. I've had it. I don't want to lose it. Bobo's comments. We hope, fans, that you have enjoyed this documentary showing to you two of the world's greatest professional wrestlers, and I think you must agree with that. We all love Bobo Brazil. We all think the Sheik, the mad man from Syria, uses foul tactics in the ring, but yet he has won literally hundreds of matches across this great country of ours. So you must give him something. He is a great wrestling star. Bobo Brazil is a great wrestling star. When these two meet in the ring for the championship, it will literally sell out every building, every city that they come to. This is Chuck Allen for Worldwide Sports. Thank you. Goodbye.
Well, fans, there you've heard it from wrestling commentator Chuck Allen. You've also just witnessed for the past hour individual matches between none other than Bobo Brazil and his opponents, and the former U.S. heavyweight champion, the Sheik, and his many opponents. What a vendetta. Fans, tomorrow night, Detroit's Cobo Arena for the United States Heavyweight Championship. Joe Louis, special referee between the Sheik and the present U.S. Heavyweight Champion, Bobo Brazil.